First of all, what is your sense of these reports that we've heard today that the Russians seem to be withdrawing some of their troops? Is there any evidence from what you've seen or other people in Kiev that that is happening?
No, for the moment we don't have any evidence of this, only some statements of some Russian military officials, so that's all. But today we have another thing, the decision of Russian Parliament to recognize the so-called republics in Donetsk and Lugansk, Ukrainian territory, Ukrainian Donbass, and that is a clear act of aggression from Russian Federation against Ukraine. It means that Russian Parliament recognized part of our territory being independent, and they sent this decision to Vladimir Putin for a final decision. So it's a clear act of aggression, and we saw it yesterday. And certainly I would like to stress that these territories are Ukraine, and we will never recognize them as an independent country, so states, as I am sure that the whole world will not recognize.
President Putin, during that press conference of the last hour, said that what's happening in the Donbass region in eastern Ukraine is genocide. He said that Russophobia, was the first step towards a genocide. Do you recognise any of that there is genocide happening in the Donbass region?
Certainly there is genocide happening there, but organizer of this genocide is Putin. Putin is a Hitler of 21st century, and he killed more Russian-speaking people than anybody else in the world. So there is a genocide there, but from Russian Federation. And we lost more than 14,000 of Ukrainian citizens' lives during last 8 years, during this war that Putin launched against our country. So he is responsible for this. The war crimes, awful things like, for example, hitting Boeing of Malaysian Airlines in summer of 2014 with almost 300 people killed and other things. And I want very much to see Vladimir Putin in Hague tribunal for these crimes.
Many people would suggest that is it not sensible that Ukraine says, well, we're not going to join NATO, to make that clear, to make that commitment, given the fact the chances of joining NATO at this moment in time are pretty limited anyway? Wouldn't that be a way to ensure that this invasion doesn't happen?
We're speaking about strategic aim of Ukraine, and our strategic aim is to be member of NATO. That is written in our constitution, and that is supported by Ukrainian society. And we hope that our allies, and by the way, I want to thank the United Kingdom and the United States, which are really very big supporters now of Ukraine, that together we can do it and we can become a member of NATO. And just for your understanding, if Russian blackmailing will be effective now, like it was a year ago, remember that a year ago it was the very same situation, but Putin wanted waiving off the sanctions from Nord Stream 2 and a meeting with Biden. Unfortunately, this blackmailing was successful, and Putin decided to move it forward, to do it again. So if he will be successful now, he will continue his blackmailing, and that's all. He will never stop. He doesn't believe in our values. He doesn't believe that Ukraine is a sovereign state. So he will continue his way to Yalta world, where he and some other big guys will sit and with pencils will make marks on the map on the world and said, this is Russian, this is not Russian, but it couldn't be like this in 21st century. We're a sovereign state, we're making our decisions ourselves, and I believe that there will be a day when NATO states will support us and Ukraine will be a member of European Union and NATO, and it's not to Russia to decide this issue.
Okay, and very finally, Alex, President Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, has announced a kind of day of unity tomorrow. Just explain what that is.
We're speaking about really Ukrainian society is now on the high spirit. We are ready to fight for ourselves, but we don't want the war. That is absolutely clear. And tomorrow we just want to show to the whole world that we are ready to fight for our countries. And that's true. And I'm sure that will stop Putin from invasion, that he will see that each city, each town on the way of Russian soldiers will be like a fortress. And he will pay a very high price if he will decide to invade.